So the next one, it's best voice experience by Donny. What should I do? Should I share your screen directly, Donny?
Yeah, if you can.
All right.
Okay, so my project is called View Assist. Basically, that's a play that you can view the feedback that Assist is giving you when you ask it questions, or it provides you other feedback. What you see here is three different devices. Of course, you wouldn't have all these in the same place, but you can imagine that you would have this, one in different rooms of your house. This may look familiar. It's modeled after the commercial voice assistants by Amazon, and part of the reason is to keep it friendly for the family as far as the familiar look, and also because it was easier for me to not have to design a lot of these things initially. The top right, you can see one of the displays that's in a cycle mode. Basically, you can set an automation and tell it what views you want to go through. So maybe in the morning you want to see the weather and the traffic and other things, and you'll have it in that mode. So you can have that to start your day. And then the other devices, the one on top is just going to be here to show you how these things all operate independently from each other. That's one of the improvements that I've done, that when you call one, depending on what you do, it'll either just show up on there or it can call to the other one. So that's the setup. And if you've seen my video, this will probably be very familiar. But I've done a lot of stuff in the backside for this independence, and that's really where the improvements have happened since the demo. So I'll go ahead and start and do a few things. But this device here is an all-in-one. It has a speaker and 8-inch display on it. It's a really nice unit. It was not the easiest thing to set up, but a really cool device. So anyway, and a word of warning: I will say the OK Nabu wake words. So
sorry, I couldn't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
so
Nice
there
demo.
you go. It may make your devices go crazy if you have that going on at home. Okay. Okay, Nabu. How's the weather?
It's 80 degrees and rainy.
So this will show the weather from a local weather station, and it'll give you a little bit of feedback. And after a short time, there's a configurable a configurable timeout that will go back to a given screen. In this case, it's the clock, because that's one of my gripes with the Echo devices, is that you'd look over there and it wanted me to watch viral videos instead of knowing what time it was, and that was a pretty big thing in driving this project. So, okay, Nabu, show all cameras.
Showing all cameras.
Of course, it's going to give some errors, but this never happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it's happening now, and what it will show is all the cameras around the house with live views, and this is one of the things that my wife had wanted me to do for a long time, and I was never able to figure out how to do it. But it's really easy to do it with Home Assistant, where you just set up a card with views, and you call with a custom sentence, and it'll switch over to these views. Okay, Nabu. Broadcast. This is a test.
This is a test.
So this is part of the demonstration that I was saying. So this will broadcast to all of the devices in the house that are in the group of the visual assistants, and it'll show the text so that if you miss hearing it, or maybe you're hard of hearing, you can look over and see what that message is, and then it will go back to the default that it was doing before. As you can see, the one on the top is back in the cycle mode, and will continue to go through those processes. Another quality of life, and this is from the video too. Okay, Nabu, washer demo.
Washer is done.
So this will let you know that the washer is done. But what's different about this is, if you can see, and it might be hard to see, but in the top right corner, there's a little icon that shows a washer, and it'll show you how long it's been since the washer has completed. Yeah. So this will keep you from having, the moldy clothes left overnight or whatever. It'll be a constant reminder that needs to be seen about. And I have an automation set that when the clothes is put in the dryer and the dryer starts, that this will go away automatically, so you don't have to attend to it. But it is a reminder, and I've used it a couple of times since putting that in place. Okay, okay, Nabu, mute. I'm going to play some audio here, and I want to respect the copyright, so I'm muting the audio.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Nabu, play Banana Pancakes. So this will call not stream, it says Music Assistant, and it'll search for the song, and this is being played off of Spotify, and I can assure you that it is playing the music in the background. So it'll sit here and it'll show you the screen and it'll play the music. Okay, Nabu, show clock. So this is no surprise, right? It shows the clock. But the thing is, when you're we've switched over to music mode, so you can make a call and it will switch over to the different view. But after that timeout, it will go back to the music playing, and you'll see that the music is playing again too. So you're not limited as far as what it goes back to. You can configure these things exactly like you want it to be. Okay, Nabu, stop music. So you can stop the music with voice, and then it goes back to the normal mode. And anytime that something happens, it'll go back to this clock screen. So I could use voice to unmute, but you can also do things like this, where you can just go ahead and press the tablet, and it will do that for you. And there's other buttons and stuff associated with it too. If you click here, you can go over to the weather, and it's really your imagination and your amount of willingness to put into changing these views and making them dynamic to be able to do these things here. So a couple more things, and then I'll stop talking. Okay, Nabu, show shopping list.
Here's some of the items on your shopping list: breakfast bars, onion, bell pepper, bread, eggs.
So here's one of the issues that I have, is that the timeout is not perfect when it comes. I made a call too fast, and it went back to the screen. But you could see that it goes to the screen with the info, and it shows you the list of it. And using the built-in sentences, you can add things to the shopping list. You can't remove things from the shopping list. Apparently, that's not an item yet, and I've tried, and it seems case dependent. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time in doing that. I figured one of you guys will figure out the best way to do that and provide that to me.
We figured people would be out there at the app removing them in the store or something.
I think
well, there's that too. But I have kids that like to add things that we don't necessarily want to buy for them. So okay, and then finally, okay, Nabu, what's for dinner?
Yum, these look tasty.
Here we go. So if you notice, at the top of the screen, there's a little hand icon that shows up, and that puts it in whole mode. In whole mode, it won't automatically go back to the clock. So now you can stay on this screen, and you can click on a recipe or whatever it is that you want, and scroll around in it and do whatever you like, and it'll stay on that screen until you come back and take it out of whole mode. Or if you want to, you can use voice and to set the mode back to the normal mode. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, you can tap on the little washer if you want to, and it goes away on all the screens. So yeah, short of that, that's pretty much it. I did add a night mode just yesterday. Basically, all that does is dims the screen and the clock so that you could put it in a dark room, which is another use case that we have for it, to be able to actually put these things into service around the house.
Nice.
Someone asked, can you target the music or message to a specific display?
Technically you can, but I have not gotten that far with it. I know the folks with the music assistant are doing a bunch of stuff with voice. I've talked to them a bit about it, and hopefully that'll be easy to integrate. But there's really no reason that you can. Anything that you can write a custom sentence for, you can. View Assist knows what device is calling, and it knows what device it knows its music device, its media player device, and it knows what its display device is, what browser it's on, and then it'll just automatically show up on that screen. So if you wanted to extend it to send it to another one in the group, then you could. But I have not written that part yet.
I think the simplest, not simplest, but maybe the most usable way would be to target the device that are on a specific area. So you can say things like stream dinner is ready in the bedroom, for example, because you are in the living room and you know your kids are in their bedroom or things like this. That would be. This is like super complete. Like I think I have like already so many questions.
And you mentioned that too. So I have started work on a Do Not Disturb portion as well, where you can put it in Do Not Disturb, so that when the broadcasts happen, if you're taking a nap or like you're saying, you might have a baby or something, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that broadcasting in that room, then you can set those devices to Do Not Disturb and do it. It's just a matter of time to be able to finish all that stuff, and adding things in and out of groups was a struggle for me to figure out how to do it. But I think with the tags, I'll be able to do that easier.
It's interesting because like I feel that adding a screen is adding so much complexity, and you have so many use cases to think about, like streaming on different rooms, Do Not Disturb, night mode. I mean, night mode, I guess that's the first time you put this kind of device on your bedroom, you're like, oh, okay, this is not working. I need a night mode. Like this is, right? Like as soon as you start napping and one of your kids is streaming, it's like, okay, I need a Do Not Disturb mode that's mandatory also. It's actually very interesting to see like all of the things you need as soon as you have a screen. But you already did so much. Like I had so many questions, but you already covered them. Like, can you discard notification by clicking on them? Yes. This is actually pretty nice. One question: how do you? It's actually just for my curiosity, because that was very fast, like way too fast. When you say like play banana pancake, how did it find the song so fast?
It's using a service called a music assistant, and it's just passing that variable to the search for music assistant, and that's it. It starts playing.
What sort of hardware is your music assistant running in an add-on with your Home Assistant on like a?
It's a Docker. It's a Docker container. I'm running a containerized Home Assistant, not
cool.
Home Assistant OS.
All right. So
it's the same.
Yeah. So these tablets, which I'm sure people are gonna, maybe you've already said, what exactly were the tablets? What piece of hardware?
Yes. So basically e-waste, right? As far as the this one here, this is a tablet from 2015 running Android 5.
Whoa.
And the other device is a 2019 Amazon Fire 7. And then this device here is a ThinkSmart, Lenovo ThinkSmart. This device is both fantastic and terrible, all in the same sense.
Can you show it a bit, because we don't see the fact that it's one unit, and it's actually interesting to see the speaker on the side, etc. Can you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I can try. Let's see if I can slide it over.
Yes, yeah, so it's like a one. It's one unit that was created.
Yeah, it's one unit, and it has a nice sounding built-in speaker to it. And the real kicker is that this thing is $40 on Amazon with an 8-inch display and the built-in speaker. I mean, it's unbelievable. It was in the actual voice contest post that I made that someone said, hey, it would be really cool to put it on this device, which some guys on the forum had. There's a huge thread. Matt Mon posted this thing, and there's different versions of Android that you could run on this device, but none of them are perfect. But the one that's on here now is pretty stable after a bit of effort to get it stable. And I did order another one, and my intent is, and don't hold me to this promise, but my intent is to make a video flashing it and showing folks how to do that and how to set it up. If they want to replicate this, you can certainly do it. But yeah, it's a really cool device, and it's clean. I mean, you can see this tablet is fine, but it's got a cable sticking out of the side of it. this looks like a commercial product, and it is.
Someone said not $40 after this stream. It's going to be sold out. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
It might be.
I was actually just hopping over to Amazon. I'm like, crap, I should order mine now. And I see it is still $40. So
yeah, I do have a wiki page that has a bunch of information on the various tablets and some of the settings and stuff that I hope to expand on. Really the goal of this is not so much just for me to use it, and some of the stuff that I did in doing the cards and all this stuff was trying to be mindful of other people using it. I don't know a whole lot about CSS, but I know a lot more than I did when I started. And basically what I tried to do is to make things as generic as possible and use percentages versus pixels, so that whatever you wanted to put this on, if you wanted to put it on a phone and you could scale it, you could scale the sizes, you probably could do that. I had some people reach out to me and they're using it on their TVs. They were able to use Cast to put it on their TVs, and it's really cool. And I see this as a way for other folks that are a lot better at doing things than I am to take this and run with it and share it with the community, so that we all can benefit from it.
yeah.
Donnie, if you want to share one link, it's your GitHub page.
Yeah,
So
and particularly the wiki. Yeah, and I'm a bit behind as far as adding the stuff on it. I was trying to prepare for this and try to have something nice to show you guys, but after the live stream, in the next few days, I'm hoping to add a whole bunch more to it and make it easier for folks to follow. But what's on there is easy enough to follow. It doesn't handle the multiple screens, but I have had several people reach out to me to say, hey, yeah, I use your GitHub and I have it set up and I'm doing this or that. Discord, fantastic. There's people reaching out and wanting to do things. One guy reached out to me and said he's got his phone notifications and stuff that show up on the screen, and someone else said that they had something that was what do you call it? Basically, it asked you questions, and you could answer those questions, or you could make it play a game, kind of thing, because it was interactive. And that's something that is worth exploring. And the more people that would want to do things like this, to me, would be really cool that we would have a place to share all of these, kind of like not it wouldn't be as easy as the commercial ones where they have app stores and you can install apps, but maybe that's pie in the sky. But it would be really cool that if Mike or Elu or somebody made something, that we could just import that in, with some modification, and then extend the capabilities of our devices.
It feels like we could use this same kind of stuff to put it on people's smart fridges and stuff like that, so that it'd actually be on their touch screens for that. I see several people asking if you can do the same stuff on the Google Nest or the Echo devices or any other stuff. Can we actually set the stuff that you set up on any of those devices?
I don't really know, but I know that the guy that was doing it on his TV was using Cast to send it to his TV. So I would assume that you could. Yeah.
No, it needs more than just the web browser, right? There's something else on there, or is it most of the web browser?
So that's the thing too, right? So I have this. This is because I had these devices handy. All you need is a web browser.
Okay.
And that's it. It's using a browser mod to do this stuff, and browser mod will expose the media player and the not the microphone. And you have to have some kind of way to be able to get the mic over to your to Home Assistant to be able to do the process.
Okay, I mean that's
pretty simple too. If you can find something that'll broadcast RTP or whatever it is, I can't even remember what it is, that's being used. I'm leveraging a whole bunch of other people's videos, guides, everything to piece all this stuff together. And so I certainly can't take credit for everything that's on here.
But it sounds like at least it doesn't need a full app. So there is hope that perhaps it could run on one of these other devices. It sounds like to me.
yeah, the hope would be that Home Assistant companion would be able to be able to pass audio and around like that, because that would greatly simplify the thing. And have wake word on Android would be another dream of mine as far as
I think
being able to do that.
we already said it, that it's also part of something we want to do. We are for now we are struggling with contributors on Android. We don't have a lot of contributors on Android, but it's something we want to do. We actually had like a proof of concept a few months ago that we decided to wait until releasing because it was not ready, but it's something we want to do. Yes, having wake word on Android, especially for tablet, old phones. You know, like you have a phone, you don't use it anymore, you just put it landscape, and that's now your. And with your project on top of it, now you have all of the UI experience on top of it. That would be nice.
Yeah.
If you're looking for beta testers, let me know.
Definitely coming soon.
Yeah. So there is this question, which I think is simple. What was the hardware? I guess it's any Android tablet, right? Like it's anything you want.
Yeah, I mean, low end tablets. I'm sure probably work on an iPad. Just about. I mean, an old what do you call it? Laptop. You know, just about anything. If you can have a display, a browser display, then you can connect to it. If you can get the audio back to it. But yeah, these are all Android tablets is basically all it is. Doesn't take much.
Awesome.
All right. So yeah, I have one question. What happens if you say a command? Sorry, like going back. So there is few commands that are triggering some specific screen to be displayed. For example, we say like, "What's the weather?" Then there is the answer, like spoken response, but there is also a screen. What happens if you just say like turn on the light or anything that you didn't code specifically, like any specific command? Do you have like a default screen?
Yeah, so for now it will do that, but it will not give you any visual feedback when it comes
Okay,
to
so it's like just like the regular, like this screen more or less and nothing more.
Okay, Nabu, turn off the living room lights.
Turned off the lights.
Okay.
Yeah. So it works, you know, but it just doesn't. So ideally, I would like to be able to show the screen that shows the lights, you know, the living room groups as a light bulb and show that it's off. But that comes with my wish list as far as maybe you guys can expose that as an event or something like that we can digest and be able to use that information. I've looked at doing it, but it's a bit complicated for what I was looking at. And again, I was focused on getting some other stuff done too. So if someone knows how to do that easily and can reach out, I would gladly add it. Yeah.
Okay.
But right now it's all driven on custom sentences, and these are not the sentences that you have to go in with the with the YAML code editor and stuff like that. This is just straight automations that you can do. So it's really easy for just about anyone, short of someone that might be their first day using Home Assistant. You know? Can
you actually, like, I'm interested. So I never use anything like browser mode. I don't even own a tablet, so all of these things is pretty new for me. Could you show one automation where you, like, the part where you actually display a screen or you like inject a screen to a tablet?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Give me just a second. I'll pull it.
I saw a little bit earlier someone asked why you paused after you were doing your wake phrase. That I will not speak out loud to trigger your stuff. For a lot of people, they do it like naturally. They just pause. A lot of people who are using the voice assistant on Home Assistant do it because they're waiting for the response thing. But we have seen how fast it actually works. You don't have to pause as long as Donnie has been. So you don't have to wait for the trigger, the notification ding. You can pretty much go say your phrase and then go straight into your actual command.
Yeah, without a doubt.
it's almost like unconscious. Like even if you create like a very, I remember having the question even with my like crappy project, like the walkie-talkie, etc. And it's just a LED that blinks, like, so I say, okay, Nabu, there is just a LED. And just what Missy said, like you are waiting for the LED to turn on. Then you have your own reaction time before you actually speak the command. But just with even with just like a very simple project, like just having an LED that flashes when the command is ready to speak, you can speak faster than that. But you do have to pause. However, I just want to say, like, the wake word model has to. We need a pause after the wake word to be able to detect it. Yep. But a very small one. Like you do need a pause. Yeah.
So, Mike, from a technical perspective, you actually have to wait, right?
Yeah. So what's happening is there's a point in time where the wake word is detected, but where that actually happens is dependent on the model. So it could happen at the beginning where it reports it, or in the middle, or at the end. And so there needs to be a little bit of a buffer. I do try to keep enough audio right after to feed into the next stage, the speech to text. But if you go back too far, you run into the wake word, and so you'll get transcriptions like, Nabu, turn on the light, coming out instead of just turn on the light. So it's a tricky thing, and my bet is Amazon and others have very carefully tuned their models so that they always report exactly at the end where they are. So Donnie, you got.
Well, I will say also that you can do it faster, and there is a slight delay when you're using the method that I'm using to be able to get that feedback. With Stream Assist is what's running in the background, and it will detect, and then it will play the sound that says it's detecting, but it's already detecting. I can continue to speak, but I just intuitively wait until I hear that sound to make sure that it is listening, because it's not 100% as far as the accuracy in picking up the wake words, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's about probably 97% accurate, but I would prefer not to say it and nothing happened. I'd rather wait and then make sure that it was listening, and that's just the feedback. And there is a delay. That's where the onboard, on the device wake word would be faster in giving that feedback because of the lag in the back and forth between. Yeah.
Actually, I like the audio feedback, and a lot of folks from the Raspberry community also much preferred to have a beep, even if it was faster to not have a beep. It just this is that knowing that it is actually listening to me.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm sharing the thing. So this is one of the sentences. The question: will it rain today? Right. So when you say "will it rain," will it rain today? I have one for today, and then I also have one for tomorrow, right? And maybe we could clean that up somehow too. And then I have a then you do, and it says when is triggered by today. When triggered by today, set the response to. Of course, I've picked one that's a bit more complicated than maybe I should have. But this uses a template, and it grabs the forecast for today, checks for the percent probability, and then it checks to see which percentage it is. I should have chosen an easy one. I'm sorry, but basically what this does is it's going to return, depending on the percentage, it'll say there's a 90% chance of rain today, so you might want to bring an umbrella, right? And then here I define where these, what the target device is. Like it determines who's calling this device, right? Which one of these three devices is being used, or which one in the group is being used. And I'm doing that by searching what was the last one that was called, which I guess there could be a condition where you would have two people simultaneously making a call, but I don't know an easier way to do that with the way it stands now. So it sets these variables, and then you use browser mod. You tell it what path that you want to go to. We want to show the weather, and then you tell it the target device. This may look a little complicated, but this is copy paste for each and every one. I'm not doing anything special when it comes to that. If I would have just showed you the one that says where's the weather, it would basically pull the current temperature, pull the condition, and then this block, and then it shows the same thing. So hopefully that's not too cumbersome. I try to be explicit in the wiki as to the mindset, but that's basically what it is. You call a custom sentence, it figures out where you're calling from, it does the action, and then the other automations handle what's being displayed on the screen from that point on, after it gives you that feedback.
All right. Neat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's go to, do we have other questions? No.
Seen
Right.
any other stuff since that?
All right. So that was